Hello, fellow YouTubers. Love Burns here. Just waiting for my stuff to connect here and tell me that I'm live, which it just did. The internet can totally see you now, it says. That's funny. To stop user encoder. What? Why don't I see myself? Oh, great. Well, I'm just going to assume that I'm live for 28 seconds and hopefully it'll pop up. So I don't know if my audio is on. I'm just going to assume it's working. Video playback interrupted. Please try again. Oh, geez. Well, I don't know. Anyways, well, you guys can see me, I'm assuming. So, I kind of want to take you on a little rundown of prepping for Love Burns because let's be honest, I am putting myself out there and it is very stressful, kind of. Not really stressful. I just know that what I'm doing takes a lot of courage. I'm being pretty brave. Not a lot of people would be able to go on camera and tell their story, especially twice a week. But I figured since I basically am kind of like an open book anyways, I pretty much tell everybody everything, if you ask anyways. And just makes sense to start a YouTube channel about that and maybe others can relate with me as well. But so like life happens. We're all human. Everything's happening. But for me being able to talk about my life and life events and stuff, it still is challenging, especially when I live in a small town because right now my viewers are people that know me or know of me through mutual friends. So, it can be hard to talk about certain things because that person probably could be watching. So I have to really be careful about what I do talk about. But as far as my life, like I mean, I don't really hide a lot of stuff as it is, but of course there are things that have happened to me that I don't talk about, even to my closest friends. But I'm really bummed that my video is not coming through. I don't know. Hopefully this is working. It says I'm live, so I'm just gonna assume I am. Let's see, when did I talk to you guys last? Oh, Thursday. Yeah, I was having a bad day. But I figured I'm just gonna keep doing this and who cares about the trolls, right? Because I think if any YouTubers or anybody in general let people that say mean things and put them down, if they stop doing what they're doing, I mean, it kind of helps define us in a way, right? But yeah, so prepping for Love Burns, I kind of just take certain things and I watch a lot of I read articles, watch shows, and there's a lot of things that influence me, and then I kind of take what other people talk about and incorporate into my own life because we all have a lot in common as far as relationships and day-to-day, friends, family. Yeah, so I kind of think about things. I write down like certain points, but I don't write down everything I'm going to talk about. I just do it to help me stay on track and remind myself to keep talking, I guess. But I kind of go over a lot of things in my head, things I want to say, which for the most part, as soon as I get on, I completely forget everything and I just ramble and say whatever comes to my mind at the time. But so I'll get ready. Sometimes I'll go on without makeup on, well, like the very minimum, and sometimes I'll get all dressed up for it. It just depends on my mood and the day. And I like to have at least a drink or a glass of wine before because I do get really nervous still, and so it does help me with my nerves, calm my nerves. And I think that, and of course afterwards, I'm just like, okay, what did I just say? Or what did I just talk about? Because half the time I forget or don't even remember what I talked about. And very often do I actually rewatch my video. But over the weekend, I did get my bike out finally on Saturday. And I accidentally dropped it trying to back it back into my garage. My garage sucks. Like, you have to back it in, and so we went and tipped over, which sucks because I've been riding for years, and this is the second time, which I don't even need to knock on wood because it's gonna happen again. But it's the second time that I've dropped my bike. Luckily, I put those crash bars on because I didn't hurt it. It just falls. I didn't get hurt or anything. It just wrecks my ego because the first time I dropped it, I was backing up and my foot slipped, and the same thing this time. I was backing up and my foot slipped, and my bike, unfortunately, is really heavy, so I had to call for help. So that happened. Do you guys remember when what was that show on Netflix? How to create a murder, or how to get away with murder, or something like that. And it became really big, like right off the bat. Well, there's this new series, first season that just came out on Netflix, and it's called 13 Reasons Why, and I got hooked. And I finished it, and started it at night, kind of late at night, and I finished it the next day. I watched all 13 episodes in a row. So if you're looking for a new Netflix series to watch, I recommend this one. But for me, like, it kind of, it's about teen suicide. So it is kind of something that's really deep and makes you think. So yeah, that show kind of left an impression on me, and now I can't wait for season 2. But it is a lot of things. I mean, it's basically life. Like, it's bullies. It's still out there. This kind of stuff happens. And then people make shows about it. I don't think this was based on a true story, but so yeah, I watched it all. That was yesterday. I literally laid on the couch all day and watched 13 Reasons Why. But I also, so I watched Sex and the City, and in a way I kind of relate with Carrie Bradshaw because she she writes for a magazine in New York, and she writes about her life. And I'm like, it's kind of what I want to do. I'm vlogging my life. I'm video logging it and talking about a lot of stuff. And one of the episodes, she talked about how we obsess over relationships. And I started thinking that is so freaking true, because even with, a girl relationship with a guy, or a girl relationship with a girl, even if it's friends, like, you still kind of obsess over it. When you lose a friend, you start thinking, like, losing a friend as in she starts hanging out with other people, or he, or whatever. Or when it comes to dating, he decides he's not interested, or you decide you're not interested. We begin to obsess over it, especially like when there's not even closure. And I was thinking about my own relationships, and it's so freaking true, because I will think about all the things that I did wrong, or that I could have done wrong, or I start thinking, well, what if the future would have been different? What if I lost my train of thought, sorry. But it's true. We all obsess over relationships. When I have a bad day at work, like I did last Thursday, I have to call somebody. I'll call my friends or my mom, or sometimes I'll call 20 people until somebody finally answers, because when I come home, I don't have anybody to talk to about my day, or I don't have that, that relationship or that commitment with anybody. So I rely a lot on my family and friends, as well as they do on me. But it's just, when you don't have that, some people tend to obsess over it. And unless you're, like my mom, who is very happy, you know, well, I shouldn't use her an example. She probably wouldn't like that, but but I think she's very happy, and she's okay with being, you know, she knows who she is, and she's never changed. And I mean, I know who I am, kind of. Oh my God, now I'm freaking rambling. Shit. Well, anyways, on that note, sorry, Mom. I should have brought you up. I can't take it back now because we're live. But in other words, like, she doesn't worry about not having friends. I mean, she's got us kids, and she has friends. I shouldn't say that. Jeez Louise. God, I suck. Why did I use my mom? Ugh. Moving along. I know what, okay, so me doing these videos, vlogs, I know people are going to judge me. They're probably going to watch like one episode and judge me, or think that I'm desperate or lonely, or like what people have been saying. I don't look at it that way. And I actually, you know, was told that these videos are taking over my life, but I don't feel like they are. I'm just passionate about it. Like, this is something I want to do. This is something I'm going to do. I'm not going to start over. I mean, I'm not going to stop doing it. So I look at it as more of like a passion, I guess, than it taking over my life. But, and I'm not looking for a date out of this as well. I think some people are getting that wrong idea, and maybe watched a video, one of my live feeds or something on Facebook, and thought that was the situation I was in. But it's not. I mean, if I do get a date out of the deal, it's not a bad thing either, because then, you know, the more dates I go on, the more I'll know kind of what I'm looking for, I guess. So, in other words, I do have a date tomorrow for lunch, which, yeah, I mean, I just gotta go on dates, right? So I'm not gonna turn down a date. Well, I shouldn't say that either. It just depends on the situation, I guess. It depends on the guys, but back to the relationship thing. You know how some like tend to linger a little bit longer than others, and you tend to think about it a lot more than other relationships, I guess. Like, for example, with friends, you start to obsess about it more because you really cared about that person, or like you have, you know, you still have feelings for that person, as far as like relationships go. And I know, like, last summer I went out at the fair one night, and who knows, had too much fun. I was like, okay, I'm only gonna go to the fair one night and whoop it up. And I did, and then the next day I was just completely embarrassed, like barely even remembered what I did. And I was like, that's it. And I actually grounded myself for 60 days. I didn't drink or do anything, because I thought, if I by now can't control myself and act like an adult rather than yeah, so that was kind of like my own little punishment. But I obsessed over it for so long, like just trying to think of what I did, what I could have done different, what actually went down, and I was embarrassed. Like, I literally embarrassed myself, which happens more than I like, but it happens. So back to my show. I know people are gonna judge me. People are gonna think what they want to think. This is still new to me. This is gonna be new to a lot of people in my area, a lot of my family and friends. YouTube is a lot bigger than we think, than we know. So maybe there's people out there who want to, you know, like, can relate with me, or I can relate with them, or we're kind of in the same boat. And I think it's just a good thing that I'm doing. I don't know. If you guys have any comments, feel free to chat it up with me, or comment below, hit the like button. And yeah, I mean, I kind of don't want to keep repeating myself, but I do feel like I just need to keep addressing certain things. And the whole obsessing relationships, if you really think about it, it's something that we all do, and I think it's just because we're all human and we can't help it. I don't know. But yeah, oh, and I have new hair, which I can't even see myself, and the lighting is kind of different, but I just went with like the same platinum stuff, and I put some pink in it, but you can't really tell, like I said, because of the lighting, or maybe you can in your guys' side. I don't know. But I think I'm gonna end this now because we're getting kind of long and before I start rambling. But oh, I do want to address one more thing. I back to where I was staying, I have to be careful what I say because people probably watch my videos that know people, and because of it being such a small town, and I don't want to like talk about things, and I don't want to how do I say, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I don't want people to be afraid to talk with me and chat with me. I am a very friendly person, and I do have a really hard time saying no. And if I ran into like an old friend, and I am that very like warm-hearted, helping person, and sometimes I just, how do I say this? Like, I want to help everybody. That's just who I am. I always feel like I can help people, and maybe that probably has a lot of things to do with my old relationship problem or not even problem. I don't know how you say it, but it might have to do with my relationships as well. But I need to remember I can't help everybody. I went through I shouldn't probably say this either. I went through helping out my dad for many years, and it's hard to like for me to move on from that, and I've learned a lot from all that, but helping a friend is a little different because I don't want to get myself involved, and I have a lot going for myself, if that makes sense, and I just need to it sucks. It's sad because I want this person to know that I'll always be their friend, of course, but I can't help them, and I don't even know what else to say. I can't bring myself down right now because I am working on myself. That's what my whole show is about, is me working on Love Burns. Like, I gotta learn to love myself before I can love others, and that's something that you could do too. Like, once you learn how to love yourself, you probably will be able to move on from the struggles that you have. Yeah, so on that note, and Mom's figuring out how to chat. Sorry, I gotta call you out on it. Just scroll to the bottom, and then you should be able to comment. She probably has. I called her out earlier, so sorry about that. Good thing my siblings don't watch, because they may come up in one of my videos one of these days, because they are a big part of my life too. And this is about Love Burns and her life. And oh my gosh, I'm so sorry my video is getting long. Okay, I'm gonna end this, and I will talk to all you guys on Thursday. And I don't know what we'll talk about, but we'll just talk about something. So bye for now. See you later. Come Thursday or whatever. And then I go back to work. Bye.